The following review is rated CB for completely biased because it's impossible for me to fairly critique something that I had a professional, emotional, and personal experience working on. But you guys are in for a treat with this review, like Samuel L. Jackson in Jurassic Park would say,
hold on to your butts.
And prepare for Luke in yellow latex. And it's not even fetish week. Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about the latest movie from cult legend director John Cameron Mitchell, who has given the world such gems as Hedwig and the Angry Inch, Short Bus, and the massively underseen Rabbit Hole. His latest film is a genre-blending sci-fi rom-com that's based off a short story from someone who's just as much of a cult legend, Neil Gaiman, and it's called How to Talk to Girls at Parties. Oh, and I'm telling you right now, it is weird. And best of all, it stars yours truly as a yellow latex wearing alien called Danny. Warning, this review may make me sound like an effusive, narcissistic arsehole, so venture further at your own risk. Oh guys, there's so much I can say about getting to work on a film like this, but I decided I'm gonna make a separate video about my whole experience of working on it, and this video is just gonna be a review of what I thought of the movie itself. So yeah, I actually got to attend the world premiere screening of this at the Cannes Film Festival, and yeah, that was an experience I will treasure for the rest of my life. But yeah, as soon as I came out, everyone, family and friends, were asking me, oh my god, what did you think of it? Are you gonna do a review on it? And I was like, no, there's no way I can be objective. There's no possible way I can review this without being biased. But people just have kept asking me, what's it like? What do you think? So I said, okay, I will do a review. So I'm doing it for you now, okay? I'm just gonna say what I think and then make my piece of it, and hopefully you'll go watch it. So yeah, here is what I thought about How to Talk to Girls at Parties. Right, so the best way for me to describe the plot of How to Talk to Girls at Parties is to think of it as a sci-fi version of Romeo and Juliet. But instead of Montagues versus Capulets, we've got punks versus aliens. I said this was weird, right? The story is set in 1977 Croydon during the time of the Queen's Silver Jubilee, and the story follows our punk protagonist, N, which is short for Henry, who is played by Alex Sharp, and he's also got two buddies called John and Vic, who are played by Ethan Lawrence and Abraham Lewis. After attending a punk gig, the three of them try to find this so-called after party, and they stumble across a party which just so happens to be the location for 6 different colonies of aliens who are on the back end of their intergalactic tour of the universe, and their last stop just so happens to be Croydon, of all places. And it's at this party where N meets this alien girl, Zan, who is played by Elle Fanning, who is essentially my sister in the 4th colony of aliens. And our color is yellow. And Zan isn't happy with how her colony has been behaving on this trip, saying that they've been acting more like tourists than travelers. She then meets N, and N explains to her the ideology of a punk, and the idea of going against the established order really excites her, so she goes on this 48-hour absence from her colony with N to have this sort of journey of self-exploration and freedom. And that's basically the crux of the storyline. It's a coming-of-age rom-com about 2 individuals from different worlds, both feeling very alien in their own bodies and discovering who they are. Oh yeah, there's also this cannibalistic ritual that the aliens partake in, and that kind of throws a spanner in the works for their blossoming romance. How will these crazy kids deal with it? Well, that would be telling. So what's to love about this film, guys? Well, first of all, one of the things that I love most about this film is that it truly is an original concept. Punks versus aliens. Yeah, you haven't seen that before. Yeah, it may have a parallel to Romeo and Juliet, but it certainly is a unique, albeit bonkers concept for a movie. So yeah, it's something original, which is fantastic. And what's also amazing about this movie are the performances from Elle Fanning and Alex Sharp. Alex Sharp is both awkward and endearing, so he makes for a really likable leading man. And Elle Fanning also gets some really great emotional moments in this film, but also there's a lot of room for fish out of water comedy, and they really have a great dynamic together, and that's the sweet center of the story, really. Together they are both effortlessly charming and hilarious. This film also boasts a feast of impressive British acting talent. You've got Ruth Wilson, Matt Lucas, and Tom Brooks, all playing supporting parent-teacher roles of the alien colonies. The only downside for them is that they don't get a whole lot of screen time, so their presence is short-lived. Also, Nicole Kidman's in this movie, and once again she shows that she is not afraid to get weird. She plays this queen of the punks called Boadicea, who's basically the stepmother for all the punks of Croydon. And you can tell she's having great fun here. Her accent's a little wobbly in places, but she gets some really great snappy lines. and a stellar moment with Ruth Wilson's character. I've just realized saying stellar, you're not going to get that until you've seen the actual movie. But yeah, stellar. Stellar! Watch it, you'll understand what I mean. And the soundtrack for this film is awesome. It's a mix of 70s punk jams with a few original tracks which really have that brazen, give no fucks energy that this film really embodies. And the standout moment for this film has to be when En and Zan share this duet at this punk club. John Cameron Mitchell's weird, unique directorial style really gleams through in this scene as the song builds to this, what can only be described as an acid-tripping musical orgasm. It's a treat for the eyes and the ears. So now let's talk about where the film has a few issues. So despite this film having some top-notch names in it, such as Neil Gaiman, John Cameron Mitchell, and Nicole Kidman, this is still a low-budget movie, and there are times when you're watching where you can really tell. Those of you expecting this to be a special effects galore sci-fi, well, you may be a little bit disappointed because they really use the special effects sparingly. But one can argue, even with a modest budget, there's still a lot to admire. Oscar-winning costume designer Sandy Powell, who's used to dressing Scorsese movies and Disney films like Cinderella, actually said that she loved the challenge of working on a film with a smaller budget. Even though the aliens might not be covered in flashing lights and antennae, the PVC color-coordinated colonies do stand out. Plus, it provides that harsh, hilarious juxtaposition of the punk characters, as well as highlighting the brash cultural differences between American and British culture. As John says,
they must be from California.
And another thing that does seem arguably silly is the title of this film. Whilst it does stand out, its relevance does seem a little bit redundant after the first 20 minutes of the film. The actual party that the film refers to only lasts for about 10 minutes in the first act. Then the narrative shifts its focus to the romance between Zan and En. Those of you thinking that this film might teach you a step-by-step guide of how to talk to girls at parties, nope. This film is about as informative on social and sexual conquests as Jay from The Inbetweeners. So, to sum up guys, How to Talk to Girls at Parties won't be regarded as John Cameron Mitchell's best work. However, there is a lot to love about this film. In a time where most mainstream cinema is now a tick sheet of focus group marketing criteria, How to Talk to Girls at Parties dares to be something original, outlandish, and unique. It's distinctive in style, and it's ambitious in its themes of identity, sexuality, and individuality. The performances are wonderful, and it's unapologetically fun. It's not without its faults, but there's enough weird and wonderful traits for it to find a beloved following amongst the cult world. So, how do I rank this out of 10? Part of me thinks it should be an 8, and at the same time, my biasness feels like I should give it a 7. So yeah, I think I'm going to split the difference and give it a 7.5 out of 10. But if you guys want to round up, you can call it an 8 out of 10. But yeah, I feel 7.5 is a fair rating given my biased predisposition. So yeah guys, How to Talk to Girls at Parties has been picked up for distribution, but I don't know the exact release date yet. But I will do a video on it when I do know more information, but I will also release the information on Twitter, so if you want to be updated as to when it's coming to cinemas, be sure to catch me here on Twitter. And yeah guys, if you do enjoy these videos, please do me a favor, like and share them and subscribe. It really does help. And yeah guys, if you have any questions about this film or what it was like for me to work on this, please just let me know in the comment section below. But as always, thanks so much for watching guys. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Hearfield, and I'll see you next time. Fourth Colony Manifest. Individuality!